All right. The marketing tool that I chose to do further research into is podcasting. What podcasting is essentially it's an audio show sort of thing. Think kind of like NPR. It's an all audio media. Um, and what they are is they're episodes in certain shows. They're usually between 45 minutes and an hour long. They come out every week or every other week, depending on the podcast itself. Um, they get its marketing goals mainly through advertisement. It is definitely a promotion type media or medium, sorry. Um, and podcasts themselves, they usually had advertisements either in the beginning of the podcast itself or in the middle, usually about 5 minutes for one podcast. And then they advertise from anything business to consumer for the most part, but there's also a little bit of business to business in there as well. Most of the business to business stuff that I've heard has been like website creation sort of stuff, or something that's simple that you can hire an outside company to do and just get done quick. Otherwise, for the most part, it is business to consumer. You're advertising products, you're advertising books, you're advertising other podcasts, even. And then uh, for the cost of it, I looked into where I personally get my podcast from. It's MaximumFun.org. They have what's called Jumbotron messages, either in the beginning or the middle of their show, and it's essentially where people can pay money to have a spiel done about them, either scripted from the person who's buying it, or you can let the host kind of do their thing but mention your product a specific amount of times. It is $100 for a personal message for that, and it's $200 for a commercial message. But they also do discounted rates if you were to get a full month, they would do a discount on that as well. Um, do I think it would be an effective way to advertise? Oh, of course. There's one podcast that I listen to. It's called My Brother and Me. It's been going since 2010, and in a Forbes article that I read as of September of 2017, they had 63 million downloads total for their one show, and that's an average of 525,000 a month. So for $200 to get essentially 125,000 people listening to your advertisement for $200 is a great way to go about your advertising. And businesses that I think would benefit greatly from this, it's mainly like books and other podcasts, a lot of I've heard so much stuff. What's that? Blue Apron. They did like 3 months in one of the podcasts that I listened to. They were talking about Blue Apron a lot. They were talking about movement watches, different. It's a lot more like online retailers, to where they're the cutting out the retail aspect of the business, and they're just trying to get straight to their consumers. So advertising in this method is a very cost-effective way to do that, especially with them cutting out the retailers. They're trying to keep their price low, and that's how they get people in. But yeah, that's podcast